The Defence Innovation Partnership is a collaboration between the South Australian Government through Defence SA, the Australian Government through Defence Science and Technology Group, and the 3 South Australian universities. So part of what we do is through our funding schemes, where we can help to seed some research projects. But most of the work that we do is actually around relationship building. So at the heart of what we do is really getting to know our research community, getting to know the needs of industry, and getting to know the needs of defence to ensure that we can make the best possible connections between those groups. We're a small team of people who are specialised in our particular roles. We are very human-centred in the way that we approach what we do. And we meet with researchers and we meet with industry, and we have a Defence Science and Technology Group person embedded in our office.
I think one of the key benefits I can bring to this role is leveraging my unique position within what's called the Australian Defence Science and University Network. DSTG has an embed in each of the states, similar to my role, and we work very closely together, linking universities not just within South Australia, but into the national science technology enterprise as well. The Defence Science Technology Group has well over 2,000 people in it. Understanding where the right places to engage into that organisation is important, and I can really help facilitate that.
The real value in the Defence Innovation Partnership funding is that we can help to bring together a team and prove that not only the concept they're working on, but also that the team works well together. Our goal is to ensure that these projects are sustainable even after they finish, and that will continue into the future. And we do that through our Pathways Manager.
So the value is getting introduced to defence, sort of like a soft launch. You don't have to necessarily go into a huge acquisition program with defence. Start out early, start out small with some seed funding, and get to the next stage, and with the support of the ecosystem around you from defence and from industry. So the funding we provide is very early stage seed funding. So we realise that, and we know that the next step isn't necessarily translation. So the perfect outcome for me would be to continue to work with them throughout the life of the project and help set up some meetings so that they can get in front of the right people to take it to the next funding scheme. Ideally, it'd be the next step in the pathway to translation.
So we aren't the end result necessarily as far as funding goes, but we're certainly a catalyst to other avenues.
Even the projects that do get funded, we don't want to see them stop after the 12 months. And that's what part of my role is, to work through with them to make sure that we bridge that gap, make sure that they have some funding coming in, or maybe the right partnerships, and get it ready for acquisition by defence or by the defence industry.
The defence sector has had a long history in South Australia, and we have a legacy of really strong industry and research that's come out of that. And more recently, we've seen the growth of a space sector in the state as well. There's a lot of overlap between the two, and we're seeing a lot of really great cutting-edge work coming from the interface between defence and space.
The strategic circumstances right now are very dynamic, and the pace of research development has really increased over the last 20 or 30 years, to the point where defence can no longer do all of its research internally. It really needs to leverage the broader science technology ecosystem to be able to provide the capability edge that it needs to be able to respond to its key challenges in a strategic environment. We also want to operate strategically in the way we engage into the science technology ecosystem.
Our collaborative research fund is a way for us to learn about what's out there in the research community. The other way is to identify some priorities that defence has that seem to align with the kinds of strengths that South Australia has.
Which is a more strategic top-down approach. This is our big challenge. We need to build S&T capability in this area, and we're going to engage with you and build it. So we're going to do both.
And so we are developing a new fund called our Activator Fund, which will help us to do larger scale, a more clear pathway to translation projects that are guided very strongly by defence priorities.
Certainly make contact with us and look at those of us that are in the team and contact us as individuals.
Because we're such a small team, I think it's a really personal service, and you do have that access to people straight away.
If you are a researcher, if you're in industry, or if you're somewhere in government and you have a challenge that could be relevant to defence, come and talk to us, because we can help you find the right partners to either work out whether what you're doing is relevant or to build a team that will actually help you deliver.